Doesn't it feel great to be alive? Boy, does it feel great to be alive on a hump day Wednesday night right here on YouTube as a diehard passionate YouTube baseball fan or what? Well, tonight may have been opening night for the 2026 MLB regular season, but also tonight was a historical night as for the very first time ever in the history of baseball, a baseball game was televised on Netflix. It was the battle of the Bronx Bombers from the AL East going to the West Coast to take on Tony Vitello and the San Francisco Giants of the NL West. And in this episode, we are going to go from a pregame show to a postgame show. We're going to talk about the very first game in the history of baseball televised on Netflix. And, we're going to go from history making to even what most people are describing a night that baseball fans will never forget. Remember, guys, it's opening night of the 2026 MLB regular season, and tonight was nothing more than a historical night in the game of baseball, guys. So let's get into the post-game show. So like I said, for the very first time in the history of the lovely game of baseball, a baseball game was televised on Netflix, and it just wasn't any game televised. It was opening night. That is right, guys, on Hump Day and a Wednesday night at Oracle Park in beautiful San Francisco, California, on the Bay Area. We had so many stars from, the WWE. We had stars from podcasts, TV shows, movies, you name it, all coming in together on a Wednesday night to go to Oracle Park and to witness the very first ever baseball game televised on Netflix. And just like I just said a few moments ago, it was a battle of the American League East, of the Bronx Bombers and the New York Yankees, and they're going out west to Oracle Park to take on Tony Vitello and his new San Francisco Giants. That is right, guys. Tonight would be the first regular season game that Giants new manager Tony Vitello would manage. He managed the past two nights at Oracle Park against one of the most decorated Mexican League baseball teams. But those two games were exhibition games to end spring training. So Tony Vitello's MLB managerial record all counted and all truly started tonight. And it would be a great pitching matchup on the card. It would be Max Fried going for the Yankees. It would be, well, not a shocker to any San Francisco Giant baseball fan. Logan Webb going for the San Francisco Giants, guys. And it was a raucous crowd because a little over 5 months ago, we ended the baseball season with the LA Dodgers winning their second straight World Series in a row. And just under 5 months later, we could say that MLB baseball is truly back because tonight, the 2026 MLB regular season began, guys, and oh boy, did we have a interesting one to have the debut of baseball on Netflix, guys. You know what? I got to be very honest with you. We saw stuff in tonight's ball game that I don't think anybody expected to see, especially with a Max Fried versus Logan Webb pitching matchup, guys. But I got to be honest, also tonight was a historical night in one other way, because for the very first time ever, and I got the 3 letters for you, ABS. That is right, guys. The automatic ball strike system was in play tonight. One of the newest rules coming to MLB for the 2026 season, guys. Remember last year, it was used in a little bit of spring training. It was only implicated last year in spring training to ball clubs and MLB that shared a spring training venue. And it was only used in one regular season game last year. That was the MLB All-Star game in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, everything changes tonight because ABS will be inflicted in the regular season and the postseason. So a lot of history beginning on a Wednesday night in San Francisco, California, and it all started with Yankees Giants. The only question would be who would get the first win ever of a baseball game on Netflix, and who would be able to kick off the 2026 MLB regular season at a perfect 1-0. Well, we found out in a very unique but unexpected way. So, the top of the first, guys, would actually not be a bad top of the first for Logan Webb. The first 2 men that Logan Webb would end up facing, he would be able to strike out. He would strike out Trent Grisham and Aaron Judge to kick off the game. He actually had a uno, dos, tres inning, but it was really the top of the second inning that struggled with Logan Webb, because the Bronx Bombers, the New York Yankees, would send 9 men to the plate in the second inning, and they would get 5 hits, but only 2 out of the 5 hits in the second inning would be extra base hits. Those 2 extra base hits came from Jose Carbonero, who got a RBI double, and then Trent Grisham, the leadoff hitter, would get an RBI triple. Again, after the Yankees had their first 2 at-bats, they did something that I don't think anybody expected, and they had a 5-zip lead over the San Francisco Giants, guys. And, you know, the San Francisco Giants, they had a really good bottom of the first inning. They sent 5 men to the plate in the bottom of the first. They would start the game off with Luis Ariz. And I kind of want to talk about the Giants leadoff hitter, Luis Ariz. This is a guy that doesn't walk a whole lot, but he doesn't strike out a whole lot either. And he really, you know, and he's a left-handed hitter facing a left-handed pitcher of Max Fried, you know, and it just, you know, it seemed like he would be the one lefty versus lefty that would be perfect to get to Max Fried, because the guy hits the ball, doesn't strike out a lot, and you know what? He would walk. So the very first batter of the game for the Giants walk. And that was looking good for the Giants because, well, really, 2 batters later would be Rafael Devers. He would get on base. And next thing you knew, The Giants had 2 men on with only 1 man out in the bottom of the first. And like I said, bottom of the first for the Giants was really good. They sent 5 men to the plate, but they were unable to score, okay? Very big chance. The Giants had their shot against Max Fried in the bottom of the first, and they just couldn't cash in. By the way, Max Fried only got 1 strikeout in the bottom of the first. And then we go to the top of the second, and that is when it fell apart for Logan Webb. Because like I said, 9 Yankees came to the plate. They got 5 hits. They scored 5 runs. And really, guys, 2 out of those 5 hits in the second inning were extra base hits. But it didn't matter because as we go to the bottom of the second, the Bronx Bombers had a 5-zip lead, okay? And that's the one thing that we really didn't expect to see happen tonight, And then, guys, Max Fried, about the Yankees. Max Fried didn't have the best first inning. Again, the Giants would get 5 men to the plate in the bottom of the first, and they would be unable to score. But after the bottom of the first, Max Fried was the Max Fried baseball fans knew. Max Fried would dominate. Max Fried would finish his night with striking out only 4 batters, okay? But Max Fried on opening night would go 6 in the third inning, okay? Think about that. Logan Webb only went 5. Sorry, guys, my alarm did go off. So, guys, I mean, like I said, Logan Webb, guys, had a really rough second inning, gave up 5 runs, he gave up 5 hits. Remember, that was in the top of the second inning, guys. And, Logan Webb would go the minimal, but really after the top of the second inning, that's when, San Francisco Giant fans were kind of in a little panic. They were worried, about the pitch count with Logan Webb. They were worried, would Logan Webb be able to rebound, guys? He kind of really did. After the top of the second inning, Logan Webb went and he changed his pitches, and we ended up finding that bippity-boppity-boo. It was the Logan Webb we always knew and always remembered. Logan Webb, guys, I don't know how you do it, but Logan Webb on his stat line tonight, he goes 5 innings, he gave up 9 hits, he gave up 7 runs, he walked 1, and he struck out 7 Yankees. Okay, for Max Fried went 6 in the third. He gave up 2 hits. Didn't give up a run. He only walked 1, and he struck out 4. Logan Webb would strike out 7. Max Fried would only strike out 4. But it was the way Max Fried went about it. Logan Webb, after the top of the second inning, he had to take a step back, and he had to redial everything in because the Yankees were hitting off him, and like I said, guys, the Yankees showed up to play on a hoop day Wednesday night in San Francisco. And I just got to say this, okay? The once Logan Webb got off the mound, the good news for Giants pitching, they did not allow a run the remaining of the game. After the 5th inning, we did not see a run scored the remaining of the game for the Bronx Bombers. The bullpen did its part for the Giants. The bullpen, the San Francisco Giants bullpen would strike out 4 Yankees guys, and they kept it. where it was at, despite them being down by 7. But at the end of the day, it wasn't Logan Webb's day. Like I said, Logan Webb really had 2 bad innings. The top of the 2nd inning and the top of the 5th inning were the 2 bad innings by Logan Webb. And, Max Fried really did good. Max Fried had really 1 bad inning. That was the bottom of the 1st. And the Giants were not able to do a whole lot with it. And a matter of fact, guys, the San Francisco Giants only had 2 good innings. The bottom of the 1st inning, they would send 5 men to the plate. And then the bottom of the 8th inning, they would send 5 men to the plate. Other than those 2 innings that I just mentioned, the San Francisco Giants didn't really do much of anything. They really fell short. They really struggled. They struck out, and at the end of the night, guys, the San Francisco Giants would only get 3 hits. That is right, guys. The Bronx Bombers were able to hold the Giants to 3 hits on a Wednesday night ball game in San Francisco, guys. The Yankees would finish the night with 10 hits, and not one of those 10 hits were home runs. And a matter of fact, on opening night, tonight, we didn't even see a home run. The closest we saw to a home run was the triple hit by Trent Grisham in the top of the 2nd inning. Now that after everything I said, you can pretty much guess who won opening night on a hoop day, and that would be the Bronx Bombers. The Bronx Bombers, the New York Yankees, make history as they become the first MLB team to win a baseball game on Netflix. 7-0, your final score on a Wednesday night at Oracle Park. The win will go to Max Fried. The loss will go to Logan Webb. But what is really odd about tonight's game is tomorrow is opening day, and these 2 teams will not play tomorrow. They will resume the series on Friday. In a matter of fact, 4 MLB teams do not play tomorrow, and those 4 MLB teams are the Yankees, Giants, Rockies, and Marlins. Other than those 4 teams, everybody else will play tomorrow, guys. So, what do you say, guys? I don't know how else you could say it any other way. Kind of a weird night, but you know what? A historical night. Yet at the end of the night, Yankees become the first team to win a game on Netflix, and just not the way the San Francisco Giants expected to kick off their 2026 regular season. Okay, guys, so basically 2 things before I end post-game show. Number 1, I don't think anybody had this on their opening night bingo baseball cards. Aaron Judge, 0 for 5 tonight with 4 strikeouts. Yeah, the golden sombrero, as they call it in baseball. Yes, Aaron Judge 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. I don't even think anybody expected Aaron Judge to go hitless in the game tonight. Anthony Rizzo on the pregame show predicted Aaron Judge to go deep in his first at bat, and number 1, that didn't happen. He struck out, but Aaron Judge, the only at bat tonight he did not strike out was his very last at bat, his 5th at bat, and he swung out the first pitch to ground out to 3rd base. But I'll be honest with you guys, even I'm shocked. I can barely say it myself. I'm still shocked. Aaron Judge on opening night, even though it's game one of a 2026 162 game season, 0 for 5, 4 strikeouts. Aaron Judge has never gone 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts in his MLB career on opening day. That all has never happened until tonight at Oracle Park. And I just wanted, like, when you look at Aaron Judge, a player like him, you don't expect to see him have a 4 strikeout game very often. Okay? But I mean, and I think about it. Think the Yankees scored 7 runs and Aaron Judge was 0 for 5 with 4 Ks. And yet the Yankees score 7 runs and they never even hit a single home run. So I mean, think about that. If we were told all this prior to tonight's game, would you truly believe it? I don't think it, you know. So, but yeah, the biggest takeaway is Aaron Judge, the captain of the Yankees, going 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Number one, Aaron Judge, he doesn't go on a 4 strikeout game very often, which kind of is like, wow, like that actually happened. So there you guys, I got to ask you guys that. You know, I have to. I mean, again, Aaron Judge has never had a 4 strikeout game on opening day in his MLB career. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. I mean, I guess it can happen to like any player, but all rise, not tonight in San Francisco. So that was the first takeaway from it. But the second takeaway was Yankees starter Max Fried. Max Fried has never got a win on opening day in his MLB career until tonight. 6 in the third, and he only struck out 4 batters, but he would get the win. So a big congratulations to Max Fried because he's never gotten a win on opening day. He's been the opening day starter prior in his career before, but he's never ever got the W until tonight. So very big night for Max Fried on opening night. He gets the opening day start and he will get his first win in his MLB career on opening day. Very, very big night for him. So congratulations to Max Fried. But if you guys watched tonight's game or tonight's historic game on Netflix, I would love to get your guys' input down below in the comment section. But those were really the biggest 2 takeaways I wanted to end tonight's episode on. So again, guys, your final score on a Wednesday night: the Bronx Bombers defeat the Giants 7-0, with the win going to Max Fried and the loss going to Logan Webb. Okay, guys, so other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the post-game show tonight on the channel, so definitely let me know down below in the comment section. If you guys didn't watch the pregame show, go check that out. It is up on the channel as well. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night and your day. And I will see you all next time. Bye, guys. Have a great night and love you guys.